Hello?
Cardi, I hate to do this to you. Zach.
Huh? Yeah.
Listen, I am on.
No one is talking about this, but tonight we're diving into a story that's shaking hip-hop at its core. Akademiks. Yes, DJ Akademiks himself jumped on stream and had Cardi B on the line. And what came next has everybody talking. He didn't just mention her name in passing. He glazed Cardi B for her appearance on Young Thug's album, a collaboration that no one saw coming, especially after Young Thug's name has been entangled in the industry snitch narrative. Wait until you hear this. Watch the clip carefully because what Akademiks says about Cardi and Thug's collab could shift the entire culture.
Hello?
Cardi, I hate to do this to you. Zach.
Huh? Yeah.
Listen, I am on stream. This is how you rap. I just want to tell you. I don't know why you going that crazy. I'm listening to Thug's album. And I heard your verse and I said, this is how I like you to rap.
Oh my God! Oh, you really got me on stream.
No, you on stream. This is. Hey, you're going crazy. I'm about to run this back. But yo,
yeah,
you carried that nigga low key. Don't say nothing. You carried him. You carried him.
Oh my gosh! I gotta tell you a little bit more about that whole thing, that whole verse.
You carried that nigga.
It came together amazing. No, I'm gonna tell you. No, it's nothing about that.
The story starts on Twitch, during one of Akademiks' marathon streams where he covers everything from rap beefs to court cases. Out of nowhere, he drops the bomb. Cardi B hopped on a track with Young Thug. But instead of criticism, Akademiks praised Cardi. He said she brought new life into Young Thug's music. This was more than just a feature, he claimed. According to Ak, this was the moment that saved Young Thug's career. But let's pause here. Why does this collab matter so much? Why does a Cardi B verse have the power to reset narratives, to push back against the snitch allegations haunting Thug? Fans are already debating, and the controversy is loud. On one hand, Cardi B is one of the biggest stars in the game. When she touches a record, it becomes a conversation. Her presence alone can flip a struggling rollout into a global moment. And for Young Thug, who's been battered by headlines calling him everything from rat to industry pawn, having Cardi on a record signals legitimacy. Akademiks wasn't exaggerating when he said Cardi saved Thug's career, at least from a perception standpoint. But here's the twist. This praise didn't come without shade. Akademiks couldn't resist pointing out that Cardi chose to sing on the record. Not rap, not drop one of her signature fiery verses, but sing. And in his words, that was surprising, almost suspicious. Why would Cardi choose that route? Why now? Why with Thug, of all people? Ak doubled down, saying that this move was strategic. Cardi isn't just dropping random features. She's calculated. She knew the spotlight would be burning hot on Young Thug, and by lending him her voice, not just her rap, it felt more emotional, more personal. In Ak's words, this wasn't just music, this was optics. But the backlash was instant. The internet did what the internet does best. It split into two camps. Some fans celebrated Cardi, calling her the queen of the save, the artist who could restore credibility and vibes even in the darkest controversies. Others, though, weren't buying it. How can Cardi save someone who's already cooked? One fan tweeted. Another wrote, she just co-signed a rat. That makes her complicit. And that's when the real question surfaced. Did Cardi B just align herself with a man accused of being an industry snitch? And if so, what does that mean for her brand, her credibility, and her future moves? Akademiks, never one to back down from a controversial take, insisted that Cardi knew exactly what she was doing. She's not dumb, he said on stream. She knows what this means. She knows the industry needed a co-sign for Thug to bounce back, and she gave it. The comment section exploded. Some agreed. Others said Ak was just glazing Cardi because he's been riding her wave for years. But what couldn't be denied was the fact that Cardi B once again inserted herself into the center of the conversation. She wasn't just a rapper on a record. She was now the face of an attempted career resurrection. And this leads to the million-dollar question. Is Cardi B really saving Young Thug? Or is she risking her own reputation in the process? Let's get into the heart of this drama because things get even spicier the deeper we go. Akademiks wasn't just hyping up Cardi B for no reason. He was highlighting the fact that this move was bigger than music. And the way he framed it? Like a chess game. Cardi, in his eyes, is playing the long game, securing her spot as a cultural juggernaut while simultaneously rewriting the narrative for Young Thug. But hold up. If this was all calculated, then we have to ask ourselves, why Young Thug? Why now? This is a man who, let's be honest, has had his name dragged through every possible headline in recent years. From RICO charges to whispers of betrayal in the streets, Thug's brand has been bleeding. Fans who once crowned him a pioneer of trap now look at him with suspicion. And just when you think his career might be hanging by a thread, boom, Cardi B steps in with a feature. And this is where Akademiks' commentary becomes key. On stream, he said, "Yo, I ain't gonna lie, Cardi just breathed life back into Thug's whole rollout. That feature? That's the cosign he needed. People gonna look at Thug different now." But not everybody agreed. Critics immediately started dissecting Cardi's decision. Some accused her of clout chasing, jumping into Thug's moment to capitalize on his controversy. Others flipped it the other way, saying she's too powerful for that, and that it's Thug who benefits. But either way, the conversation was raging. Who really won here? Cardi or Thug? Let's not forget, Cardi B is no stranger to controversy herself. Every time she breathes, Twitter threads spin out of control. But this was different. Because while she's faced her share of rap beefs and social media spats, stepping into the Young Thug saga is another level. She's tying her name to a man accused of being the very thing hip-hop fears most, a snitch. And here's where it gets even more layered. Fans pointed out that Cardi chose to sing, not rap, on this record. To some, it felt like a way to soften the energy, to avoid direct lyrical alignment with Thug's street persona. Almost like she was saying, "I'm here but not too here. I'll support, but I won't risk it all." Was this a smart, protective move? Or did it expose hesitation in her loyalty? Akademiks, of course, spun it as genius. He said Cardi was playing the emotional card, showing versatility, showing she could elevate Thug beyond his usual sound. But in true Ak fashion, he didn't stop there. He claimed this collab could mark the start of a larger movement, Cardi positioning herself as the fixer of the industry, the artist who steps in when others crumble. Think about it. Offset had his moments of controversy. Cardi stood tall. Nicki Minaj tried to overshadow her. Cardi thrived. Now Young Thug is fighting for relevance, and who swoops in? Cardi B. It's almost like she's rewriting the archetype of the female rapper. Not just the star, but the savior. But here's the dark side. The streets don't forget. And once the snitch label is attached to someone, it sticks like glue. So if Cardi B is aligning with Thug, what does that mean for her own authenticity? Will fans, especially those in the hardcore hip-hop community, start questioning her street credibility? We've already seen glimpses of this. One viral tweet read, "Cardi too busy saving Thug's career when she should be focused on saving her own. Where's the solo hit? Where's the album?" Another critic said, "You can't play both sides, sis. Either you with the real ones or you with the rats." But that's exactly why this story has legs. It's not just about one song. It's about Cardi B's legacy. And Akademiks knows this. That's why he went so hard in his stream, calling it a defining moment for both artists. Now let's get into the part that's keeping the internet buzzing nonstop. The theories. Because when it comes to Cardi B, nothing is ever just music. And when Young Thug is involved, you can bet the fans will dig deeper, connect dots, and spin the narrative until it feels like a full-blown Netflix series. One of the most popular theories floating around is that this collaboration wasn't Cardi's idea at all. Instead, it was a carefully orchestrated move by the industry. Labels, execs, and behind-the-scenes power players. Why? To revive Young Thug's career and keep him marketable despite the rat narrative attached to his name. Fans argued that Cardi B was the perfect vessel for this mission. She's got mainstream appeal, she's unpredictable, and most importantly, she knows how to generate buzz. So, was this feature less about artistry and more about damage control? The idea that Cardi was sent to save Thug is controversial, but it's gaining traction online. Let's not forget, Cardi herself has always been vocal about how labels and managers in this industry move like chess masters, pulling strings behind the curtain. So if anyone would understand the role she's playing here, it's her. But the question is, did she willingly accept this mission, or was she pressured into it? Another theory digs even deeper, that Cardi may be subtly positioning herself against her rivals through this collab. Think about it. Nicki Minaj has her connections, her alliances, her carefully curated partnerships. Cardi, by aligning with Young Thug at his lowest, could be planting a flag saying, "Look at me. I'm the one who uplifts. I'm the one who turns controversy into opportunity." It's a power move dressed up as a feature. But here's where things take a darker turn. Some fans believe Cardi's involvement could actually backfire. In hip-hop culture, proximity matters. You stand too close to a scandal, and suddenly it becomes your scandal too. By hopping on this record, Cardi risks being dragged into Thug's mess. If he continues to be labeled a snitch by the streets, Cardi could end up being viewed as guilty by association. And let's be real, Cardi's fanbase is vast, but also divided. Some are die-hard Barty Gang stans who will defend her no matter what. Others are casual listeners who jump ship the second controversy heats up. That means this move could either solidify her status as a fearless queen of the culture or paint her as reckless and desperate for headlines. Meanwhile, Akademiks doubled down during his stream, insisting Cardi knew exactly what she was doing. He described her as a mastermind who thrives in chaos. He even suggested that Cardi likes playing with fire because she knows the flames keep her name hot. It's a wild take, but in a way it makes sense. Cardi has built an entire brand on drama, unpredictability, and fearlessness. Why would this be any different? Still, we can't ignore the timing. Cardi hasn't dropped a full album in years. Every move she makes right now is scrutinized as a setup for her next era. Could this Young Thug feature be part of that rollout? Could it be a teaser for the narrative she's about to craft in her own project? If so, then the feature is less about Thug and more about Cardi's rebirth. But here's where the cliffhanger hits. Fans online are speculating that this collab might not even be the end of the story. Rumors are flying that Cardi and Thug might have more music in the vault, possibly a joint record, or even a mini project. If that's true, then this feature is just the opening chapter of a much bigger saga. And if you think that's wild, wait until you hear the alleged leaked messages that suggest this collab was months in the making, long before the current controversy around Thug exploded. If those leaks are real, then Cardi wasn't reacting to the moment. She was already locked in, ready to stand beside him through thick and thin. Now here's where the story gets even messier. The alleged leaks. Because in today's music industry, no drama is complete without mysterious screenshots, half-deleted tweets, and private convos finding their way onto the timeline. And when it comes to Cardi B, these leaks spread like wildfire. According to fan pages and so-called insiders, Cardi's collaboration with Young Thug wasn't last minute at all. In fact, people are saying this feature was locked in months ago, before Thug's snitch narrative even exploded. If that's true, then Cardi didn't jump into chaos. The chaos just found her. But you already know, the internet doesn't always give grace. Screenshots allegedly from DMs between industry insiders suggested that Cardi was all in on the song, pushing for it to be on Thug's album even when others doubted. Some of the supposed texts even hinted that Cardi knew it would be controversial but didn't care. Now, are these screenshots legit? Nobody can say for sure, but the fact that people are even entertaining them shows how high the stakes are. Fans, of course, took sides immediately. One corner of Twitter exploded with praise, saying Cardi is fearless and loyal, standing beside a man that most of the industry has abandoned. "This is why Cardi runs hip-hop," one fan tweeted. "She's not afraid of controversy." Others weren't so kind. Critics slammed her, saying she was putting her career in danger for someone who can't even save his own. And then came the viral moment that changed everything. A short clip surfaced of Akademiks on stream, literally yelling that Cardi saved Young Thug's career in one verse. That phrase caught fire, spreading across TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Suddenly, the collab wasn't just music. It was a narrative, a symbol. Cardi wasn't just a rapper on a track. She was being painted as the lifeline, the rescuer, the queenmaker. But with that narrative came more chaos. Memes started popping up saying, "Cardi the savior," while haters twisted it into "Cardi the sellout." The debate split the culture down the middle, and once again, Cardi was right in the eye of the storm. Let's not forget, Cardi B thrives in storms. In fact, some argue she orchestrates them. Fans pointed out how her rollout for every major moment in her career has always included a heavy dose of controversy. From fights on red carpets to messy Twitter wars, Cardi knows how to make sure the spotlight never leaves her. Could this collaboration be just another chapter in her master plan to dominate 2025? Still, there's an elephant in the room, the risk factor. Cardi isn't invincible. For every hit, there's always the chance of a miss. If fans really decide to turn on her, this collab could backfire spectacularly. Some music analysts even warned that being tied to Thug during this scandal could cost Cardi mainstream endorsements, radio play, or even Grammy nods. Yet, here's where it gets interesting. Instead of shying away from the noise, Cardi leaned into it. She posted cryptic tweets like, "I stand on mine, I always do." No apologies, no explanations, just raw defiance. And if history has taught us anything, it's that defiance is exactly what keeps Cardi's brand alive. Now, the million-dollar question is, was this all a coincidence, or was it calculated genius? Did Cardi stumble into controversy? Or did she plant herself right in the middle of it, knowing the flames would keep her untouchable? As we wrap up this saga, let's talk about the fan theories and cultural impact. By now, everyone is talking about Cardi B's verse on Young Thug's album. Some say it was a career-saving moment for Thug. Others argue it was a masterstroke for Cardi herself. And then, of course, there's the internet's obsession with the behind-the-scenes drama that fueled it all. Fans have theorized that Cardi saw the opportunity to align herself with someone controversial and turn it into a win-win situation. Cardi isn't helping Thug, one fan argued. She's helping herself, proving she's untouchable and fearless. On the other hand, skeptics claimed Cardi was playing too close to fire, putting herself in the middle of an industry mess that could have tarnished her image if it went south. The cultural conversation surrounding this collab is massive. Memes flooded social media, TikTok users made videos analyzing every lyric, and fans broke down every bar as if it were evidence in a trial. Cardi B wasn't just making music, she was creating a movement. And that, my friends, is the Cardi effect. Critics couldn't ignore the significance either. Some music columnists wrote pieces calling it a strategic move, blending loyalty with artistry. They noted that Cardi's ability to step into controversial moments without hesitation sets her apart from almost every other artist in the game today. She doesn't just react to controversy, she anticipates, navigates, and dominates it. Meanwhile, Akademiks' stream continues to trend. Clips of him saying, "Cardi saved Young Thug's career," have millions of views. His commentary amplified the narrative that Cardi isn't just a performer, she's a force of influence, someone who can shape how an artist is perceived overnight. It's a rare kind of cultural capital that few artists possess. But let's not forget the haters. Some argue Cardi is reckless, that aligning with someone labeled a snitch could have long-term consequences. And yet, her fan base, often called the Bardi Gang, remains loyal. They see every move as part of Cardi's bigger playbook, a testament to her skill at turning chaos into engagement. So, what's the takeaway here? Cardi B has shown again that she's fearless in the face of controversy. She doesn't shy away from drama, she uses it. Every lyric, every feature, every post seems calculated to dominate headlines while keeping her music front and center. And in the case of this Young Thug collaboration, it worked perfectly, sparking conversation, driving streams, and keeping Cardi at the top of the cultural conversation. By standing by Thug, she reinforced her reputation for loyalty but also demonstrated her strategic genius. Fans and industry insiders alike are now asking, how many other times has Cardi played the chess game of controversy, only for the public to catch on after the fact? Finally, this story reminds us why Cardi B remains a cultural icon. Whether you love her or hate her, you cannot ignore her ability to command attention, navigate drama, and turn every headline into an opportunity. From streaming numbers to social media chaos, Cardi proves that being the center of controversy doesn't diminish her, it elevates her. And there you have it, the full saga of Cardi B, Young Thug, Akademiks, and the drama that's had everyone talking. From leaks and screenshots to viral streams and fan theories, this collaboration will be remembered not just for the music, but for the unprecedented cultural impact it created.